What resources did you find to be most helpful or useful to you when you were thinking about and working on your job search?
Definitely the whole networking aspect.
I think networking was probably the most important thing.
Semester, and I get really nervous about networking, and I know that like people do it all the time. But
as Todd will tell you, at the CPC, networking is huge.
I'm someone who gets like nervous about the whole networking thing. Like that's just not me. I just like talk to people and I like never sound that articulate and I just like say things. But just asking people so simply, how did you get to where you are? Do you like your job? Like really basic things I think are really helpful.
I was really hesitant to do it, but once you actually start talking to someone, it's pretty easy.
kind of started out by reaching out to the people who I already knew who work in theaters that I'm familiar with, and just saying like, what would you suggest, or being like, do you have any places that you can think of, or like, would you be willing to talk to me more about this?
Yeah, I think when you are genuine and when the people you're talking to feel that genuine interest coming from you, then they'll be much more likely to open up.
The best resource you can have is Bowdoin alum, and I know that sounds a little cliche and overplayed, but honestly, they're so friendly. Even the position I have right now, there was a Bowdoin student who I was really close friends with that I had kind of forgotten where he worked, and I realized where he was working and I saw the job opening, and I talked to him, and he helped me through every step of the process.
I reached out to a lot of Bowdoin alumni through connection through Tim Deal and the CBC, as well as BCAN, the Career Advisory Network.
One thing I've learned, especially working at an organization that was, founded by an alum and having an alum as my boss, is how valuable the Bowdoin network really is. You can find people who have graduated from this place in so many different fields. And you have this connection about having gone to this teeny tiny school in Maine.
The more practice you get, the better you'll be for getting the job that you really want.
So it's good to keep track of who you've talked to, what they've told you, if you've learned what good questions are to ask. That way, when you're going forward talking to new people, you can mention the people you've talked to.
I feel that the most helpful thing for me was definitely understanding the day-to-day of what they do. You can go online and read these kind of like bios about what people do, but you're not really going to understand it unless you're going through like task by task what they were doing.
A job description has key buzzwords and the values of the company, and you kind of play those words back at them. So you're trying to sell yourself to the company, saying like, I should be hired because I know you so well and I really am excited to work for you.
Yeah, definitely important to follow up. I mean, both just as a common courtesy and also because it helps bolster the program that helped me. After I was accepted, I went and talked to Cindy and Kate in the off-campus study office, and I think it really helped just because talking to people and reaching out and saying thank you and stuff, I think creates a little bit of a ripple effect, because if you talk to people and they talk to people, then it's just sort of an exponential growth.
And something I found helpful was just trying to connect as much as possible throughout my Bowdoin career and into senior year with people who were interested in the same stuff I was. Those are people that are going to have helpful tips when you're looking for something in a specific field.
I'd asked alums that were in the field that I had looked into, whether they were people that had received Fulbrights or the two alumni that were working for Aga Khan and Kenya, just asking them candidly, what's it like? I think those conversations are really important.
I think that's why networking gets kind of a bad rap a lot of the time, is because it's assumed that you just have to network with whoever, Joe CEO over here, whose company you don't care about at all. But really, if you go and talk to someone who is doing something that you're interested in, then I think they'll feel that interest and they'll want to talk to you.
Honestly, they're so friendly, and even when you're starting off and you're not sure what you want to do, talk to one of the career planners and they'll give you names of people in that industry. The alums would tell me I'll keep an eye out, or I'll keep my ears open if there's any job openings that I know of, or people that I know that are hiring, and I'll give your name out.
Dayton sort of has been sending me emails sporadically over the last couple of months, being like, oh, I found another one, Hartford Stage or whatever, which has also been really helpful because there are just some theaters that I wouldn't have thought of, but he has kind of knowledge of this sort of thing. So
Cindy Socks, the fellowship office, and talked it through with her. I went to Meg Springer, who's helped me a lot. She had helped me with some of my drafts for Princeton and Africa. So she kind of I had two different perspectives.
Just having that kind of support network, even with people that you might not necessarily know, who are willing to help you and get jobs, that is really the best tool that you have.